Imagine a world where buffering is a thing of the past, where downloading a full-length movie takes mere seconds, and where self-driving cars communicate with each other in real time, avoiding accidents before they happen. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's the world of 5G, the fifth generation of wireless technology that promises to transform the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us. But to understand where we're headed, let's take a brief look at where we've been. The evolution of mobile networks started with 1G in the 1980s, which was simply about making phone calls wirelessly. 2G introduced us to text messaging, and with 3G, we took a huge leap forward. Email, web browsing, and video calls became possible. Then came 4G, which changed everything. Suddenly, streaming high-definition video, online gaming, and social media became part of our daily lives. But here's the thing. As our digital lives exploded with apps, connected devices, and massive data usage, 4G started to feel slow. Latency, or the delay in sending and receiving data, became more noticeable. Bandwidth, how much data the network could handle, was hitting its limit. The world needed something faster, more efficient, and smarter. Enter 5G. 5G isn't just about faster speeds, it's about enabling the future. With speeds up to 100 times faster than 4G, near zero latency, and the ability to connect billions of devices seamlessly, 5G will power everything from autonomous vehicles to smart cities, to revolutionary breakthroughs in healthcare, education, and manufacturing. We're on the brink of a technological revolution, one that will reshape entire industries and change the way we experience the world. In this video, we're going to dive deep into what makes 5G so groundbreaking, how it works, and what it means for our future. Now that we've seen the promise of 5G, let's dive into the technology itself. What makes 5G so different from everything that came before it? To really understand this leap forward, we have to break down the core innovations that power 5G and why they're such game changers. At its heart, 5G is all about efficiency and speed. But how does it achieve that? The key lies in something called millimeter waves. Unlike the signals used in 4G, which travel on lower frequencies, 5G taps into much higher frequency waves. These millimeter waves can carry far more data and at lightning-fast speeds. Think of them like superhighways in the sky, with almost no traffic, allowing for massive amounts of information to travel almost instantaneously. But, as with any technology, there's a trade-off. These millimeter waves don't travel very far and can't penetrate through buildings easily. So, how do we fix this? The answer lies in something called small cells. Instead of relying on huge cell towers that cover large areas, 5G networks use thousands of small, low-powered base stations scattered everywhere, on streetlights, buildings, and even inside homes. These small cells create a dense network that blankets cities, providing seamless connectivity even in busy urban environments. But that's not all. 5G also introduces a new concept known as massive MIMO, or multiple input, multiple output. Think of it like this. Imagine a stadium full of people, all trying to make a phone call at the same time. In the past, only a few calls could go through, creating congestion. But with massive MIMO, hundreds of antennas are added to a single base station, allowing it to handle far more data streams simultaneously. It's like opening hundreds of new gates at a crowded stadium, allowing more people in and out without the chaos. Then there's beamforming, a technique that adds laser-like precision to how signals are sent and received. Instead of broadcasting signals in every direction like a giant floodlight, 5G can focus its signal like a spotlight directly to your device. This reduces interference, increases reliability, and ensures a faster connection, especially in areas crowded with connected devices. All these innovations work together to create a network that's not just faster, but smarter and more adaptable. But it's not just about speed. The real magic of 5G is its latency, or rather, its near complete lack of it. Latency is the time it takes for data to travel from your device to the network and back. With 5G, this delay is reduced to just a few milliseconds, so small it's nearly instant. Imagine a world where self-driving cars can communicate with each other in real time, preventing accidents, or surgeons performing life-saving operations from across the world through robotics, all because of this ultra-low latency. With this foundation in place, 5G has the potential to support not just our phones and tablets, but billions of devices that need to communicate simultaneously, laying the groundwork for a world where everything is connected. As 5G emerges as a technological game-changer, countries around the world are locked in a fierce competition to lead the 5G revolution. This isn't just about faster downloads or streaming on your phone. It's about which nations will shape the future of global communication, infrastructure, and ultimately, power. At the heart of this race are the major players: the United States, China, South Korea, and Europe. Each has made substantial investments in 5G, knowing that leadership in this space could drive their economies forward and solidify their positions as global tech leaders. China has taken an aggressive lead. Backed by significant government support, Chinese companies like Huawei and ZTE have become major forces in the 5G landscape. China has already rolled out millions of 5G base stations across the country and is rapidly expanding its network across the globe. Huawei, in particular, plays a critical role here. As the world's largest telecommunications equipment manufacturer, Huawei is poised to supply much of the world with 5G infrastructure. But this dominance has sparked controversies, especially in the West. Concerns about espionage and national security have led countries like the United States to ban Huawei from their 5G networks, fearing that the Chinese government could use this technology to spy on sensitive communications. This brings us to the United States, where 5G development is seen as a critical national security priority. The US government has taken steps to encourage domestic companies like Verizon, AT&T, and Qualcomm to invest heavily in 5G infrastructure. But beyond building a robust domestic network, the US is focused on countering China's influence globally. US policymakers fear that if China controls 5G infrastructure in countries around the world, it could gain unprecedented access to global data flows, putting America and its allies at a significant disadvantage. Meanwhile, South Korea is one of the early leaders in deploying 5G networks. Known for its tech-forward society, South Korea has been quick to adopt and integrate 5G into everyday life. By 2020, the country already had widespread 5G coverage, and it's been using this technology to power everything from smart cities to advanced healthcare solutions. South Korea's advantage lies in its speed. While other countries are still rolling out their networks, South Korea is already seeing the benefits of real-world 5G applications. Europe is also vying for a place at the 5G table. The European Union has set ambitious targets for 5G deployment, aiming to have widespread coverage across all major cities by 2025. European telecom giants like Ericsson and Nokia are key players, offering alternatives to Chinese equipment. But Europe faces challenges. Many countries are grappling with the high costs of building out 5G infrastructure, and there's debate over whether to allow Huawei to play a role in their networks. The stakes in this global race go far beyond consumer tech. Whoever controls 5G will have the upper hand in developing new technologies like artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, and the Internet of Things. The economic rewards are immense. 5G is expected to contribute trillions of dollars to the global economy by the end of the decade. But there are also geopolitical implications. Control over global 5G infrastructure could mean control over vast amounts of data, intelligence, and influence. This is why the 5G race has turned into a technological arms race, with countries viewing it as a matter of both economic prosperity and national security. The decisions made now, about who builds the networks, who provides the technology, and who governs the data, will have a profound impact on global power dynamics for years to come. When we hear about 5G, the first thing that comes to mind is faster phones and quicker downloads. But 5G is far more than just upgrading your streaming speed or letting you download a movie in seconds. It's a fundamental shift in how we interact with the world around us. This is where 5G's real power lies, transforming everyday life in ways that will go beyond what we can even imagine today. Let's start with something familiar: smartphones. Yes, 5G will change how we use our phones. Streaming ultra-high-definition video with zero lag, gaming on the go with the responsiveness of a gaming console, and live streaming events with almost no delay. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Imagine living in a smart city where 5G enables everything to be connected and automated. Traffic lights, public transportation, waste management, and energy grids all work together in perfect harmony, thanks to 5G's ultra-low latency and ability to connect billions of devices. With real-time data flowing across every system, traffic jams could be predicted and prevented, energy usage optimized, and even pollution levels monitored and reduced in real time. But let's take it a step further. How about stepping into your car, your self-driving car, that's constantly communicating with other vehicles and road infrastructure, making split-second decisions to avoid accidents and take the fastest route? 5G makes this possible by allowing cars to communicate almost instantly with everything around them. We're not just talking about futuristic concepts. We're on the verge of seeing fully autonomous transportation systems that rely on 5G to keep roads safer and more efficient. Then there's the revolution happening in healthcare. With 5G, doctors will be able to perform surgeries remotely, controlling robots in real time to operate on patients thousands of miles away. Telemedicine will no longer mean just video calls. It will involve real-time diagnostics, patient monitoring, and even AI-assisted treatments, all powered by 5G's ability to transfer massive amounts of data quickly and reliably. For patients in rural or underserved areas, this means access to life-saving care without having to travel to big city hospitals. And it doesn't stop there. 5G will reshape the way we experience augmented and virtual reality, AR, VR. Right now, AR and VR are mostly used for entertainment, gaming, virtual meetings, or watching sports in 360-degree views. But with 5G, these experiences will become seamless and truly immersive. Imagine shopping in a virtual store where you can walk down aisles and inspect items in 3D, or attending virtual events that feel just as real as being there in person. Even industries we don't usually think about will be transformed. Agriculture, for example, will become smarter and more efficient. 5G will connect drones, sensors, and automated machinery that can monitor crops, apply pesticides or water only where needed, and even predict the best times for harvesting. This type of precision farming could lead to higher yields and more sustainable food production. In manufacturing, smart factories powered by 5G will revolutionize how products are made. Real-time monitoring and automated systems will streamline production, making everything faster, safer, and more efficient. Robots and machines will be able to collaborate instantly with minimal human intervention, creating a new era of industrial efficiency. Even our homes will get smarter. With 5G, smart home devices won't just respond to your voice, they'll anticipate your needs. Imagine your house adjusting the temperature, lights, and security system based on your habits, or your refrigerator ordering groceries when it senses you're running low. 5G isn't just about better connectivity. It's about creating a more responsive, intelligent, and connected world. Every part of our lives, from how we travel, to how we work, to how we experience entertainment and healthcare, will be touched by 5G. It's not just the future of communication, it's the future of how we live. While 5G will transform how we stream, game, and communicate, its most profound impact might be in the world we don't see. the industrial backbone that powers everything around us. Welcome to the fourth industrial revolution, or Industry 4.0, where machines, robots, and factories become smarter, faster, and more efficient thanks to the power of 5G. Let's start by looking at how 5G is reshaping manufacturing. In traditional factories, delays, breakdowns, and inefficiencies are inevitable, costing companies time and money. But imagine a factory where every machine, every conveyor belt, and every robot is connected in real time. This is the vision of the smart factory, a place where 5G allows every piece of equipment to communicate with each other seamlessly, making decisions based on real-time data. If a machine is about to break down, it can alert the system and even schedule its own maintenance before a problem occurs. Sensors powered by 5G can monitor the entire production line, from raw materials to finished products, optimizing every step along the way. But it doesn't end there. 5G is empowering robotics to move beyond assembly lines and into new territories. Robots are becoming more autonomous, agile, and precise, capable of working alongside humans without needing to be caged off for safety. With ultra-low latency, 5G allows these robots to react instantly to their environment. In a smart factory, this means robots can adjust their movements on the fly, avoiding collisions, fine-tuning their tasks, and even learning from their surroundings, all without human intervention. Next, let's talk about drone technology. Until now, drones have largely been used for filming, photography, and limited deliveries. But 5G is supercharging their capabilities. Imagine drones monitoring large-scale construction sites or delivering packages within minutes across sprawling cities. With 5G, drones can receive real-time updates on their surroundings, navigate more complex environments, and even work as a team. In agriculture, 5G-connected drones will be able to scan fields, analyze crop health, and apply treatments only where necessary, making farming more efficient and sustainable. And what about transportation? We've already touched on self-driving cars, but 5G's role goes far beyond that. Imagine entire smart transportation networks where vehicles, traffic lights, and roads are all connected. With 5G, these systems can communicate instantly, optimizing traffic flow, reducing congestion, and cutting down accidents. In the future, we might see delivery trucks that drive themselves across the country, communicating with other vehicles and logistics centers to ensure timely deliveries without human involvement. Another key area transformed by 5G is education and training. Today, virtual and augmented reality, VR and AR, are still emerging technologies, mostly used for entertainment or niche applications. But 5G is making them serious tools for education and industry. Imagine learning to operate complex machinery through an immersive VR experience that feels just as real as standing in a factory. Or construction workers being trained in AR environments where they can interact with holograms of equipment and tools. These technologies, powered by 5G, will revolutionize how people learn, train, and gain new skills. But one of the most transformative sectors is healthcare. We already talked about remote surgery and telemedicine, but 5G is set to create a healthcare system that's smarter, faster, and more responsive. Hospitals will be able to use 5G to connect all of their equipment and systems, allowing for real-time data monitoring of patients, rapid diagnostics, and quicker decision-making in emergencies. Ambulances, for example, could send real-time vitals and imaging to hospitals before a patient even arrives, allowing doctors to be fully prepared the moment they enter the ER. 5G is also bringing a wave of innovation to logistics and supply chains. Imagine warehouses where robots and drones work together to manage inventory, load trucks, and ship packages, all without human intervention. The real-time data provided by 5G will make these processes more efficient, reducing errors and speeding up deliveries. This isn't the future. It's happening now, and it's just the beginning. The fourth industrial revolution is more than a buzzword. It's a new era of technological transformation. With 5G as its backbone, Industries will evolve to be more interconnected, automated, and intelligent than ever before. As we've seen, the impact goes far beyond entertainment. 5G is powering an industrial revolution that will shape the future of work, production, and even our economy. The question is, how will we adapt to this new reality? As revolutionary as 5G promises to be, the road to its full implementation is far from smooth. Behind the excitement about faster speeds and seamless connectivity, there are significant challenges that need to be addressed before 5G can truly live up to its potential. In this chapter, we'll take a closer look at these challenges, from the complexity of building the infrastructure to the concerns around security and health. First, let's talk about the infrastructure required to make 5G a reality. Unlike previous generations, 5G doesn't rely on a few massive cell towers to broadcast signals over large areas. Instead, it uses small cell networks, thousands of miniature base stations that need to be installed much more densely. Picture this. Instead of relying on a few towers miles apart, we'll need 5G transmitters on nearly every street corner, lamppost, and building. In urban areas, this can be relatively straightforward. But in rural and less developed regions, building out such dense networks presents a monumental challenge. The costs of deploying these small cells are immense. Telecom companies have to not only install these new networks, but also upgrade existing infrastructure to handle the increased data load. This means laying new fiber optic cables, installing more antennas, and constantly maintaining these systems to ensure they're working seamlessly. The high deployment costs are a major reason why 5G rollouts have been slow, particularly in regions where the return on investment is unclear. The question remains, who will foot the bill for all of this? For many providers, the investment is massive, and it could lead to delays in making 5G widely available. Next, let's explore the security concerns that come with the world of 5G. With billions of devices connected simultaneously, the potential for cyber attacks grows exponentially. Think about it. From your smartphone to your smart home devices, to critical infrastructure like power grids and hospitals, everything will be connected through 5G. This level of connectivity creates countless entry points for hackers. In a worst-case scenario, entire cities could be disrupted if malicious actors find a way to exploit vulnerabilities in the network. Data privacy is another critical issue. With so many devices generating massive amounts of data, questions arise. Who owns this data? How is it being stored? And most importantly, how is it being protected? The very same features that make 5G appealing, such as the ability to track devices and gather real-time information, also make it a potential goldmine for those looking to exploit sensitive data. Governments and companies are racing to develop security protocols that can keep up with the complexity of these interconnected networks. But with every technological leap, new risks emerge. Beyond cyber attacks, there's also the fear of espionage. As we mentioned in earlier chapters, the global 5G race is not just about technological dominance, it's about power. Many countries are concerned that foreign governments could use 5G networks to spy on their citizens or steal sensitive information. This has been a significant point of contention between the US and China, particularly with the involvement of companies like Huawei in building 5G infrastructure around the world. Finally, let's touch on one of the most publicized concerns, the health effects of 5G. Some people are worried that the radiation emitted by 5G's higher frequency millimeter waves could pose health risks. These concerns have led to protests in some communities, with people fearful that being surrounded by thousands of small 5G antennas could lead to increased exposure to harmful radiation. But what does the science say? So far, research on the health effects of 5G radiation has been inconclusive. Most studies suggest that the radio frequency radiation used by 5G is non-ionizing, meaning it doesn't carry enough energy to damage DNA or cells, unlike X-rays or ultraviolet radiation. Organizations like the World Health Organization and the International Commission on Non-Ionizing Radiation Protection have stated that, based on current evidence, 5G is safe at the levels permitted for public exposure. However, since 5G is still relatively new, many experts agree that long-term studies are needed to fully understand any potential risks. These concerns, ranging from infrastructure challenges and security vulnerabilities to public health fears, are real, and they highlight the complexity of deploying such a transformative technology. For 5G to truly succeed, these issues need to be addressed head-on. As with any major technological shift, the benefits will come, but not without careful consideration of the risks and costs involved. As 5G networks are rolled out across the globe, they bring with them the promise of incredible advancements in connectivity, technology, and economic growth. But there's a critical question we need to ask. Will 5G help bridge the digital divide, or could it end up widening the gap between the connected and the disconnected? In the developed world, 5G will unlock vast opportunities, faster speeds, smarter cities, and new industries built on cutting-edge technology. But in developing nations, where access to basic internet services is still limited, 5G offers both a promise and a potential threat. Let's explore how this new era of connectivity could reshape the world, and what it might mean for the billions of people who are still waiting to get online. First, there's the potential of 5G to bridge the digital divide. In regions where 3G and 4G networks are sparse or unreliable, 5G could leapfrog existing infrastructure challenges. Imagine communities that currently struggle with slow or non-existent internet access suddenly connected to fast, reliable 5G networks. This could open up doors to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities that were once unimaginable. Students in rural villages could access online classes, farmers could use real-time data to improve crop yields, and remote workers could connect to global markets. In this scenario, 5G becomes a powerful tool for leveling the playing field, allowing developing regions to catch up with the rest of the world. Some countries are already seizing this opportunity. For example, Africa, a continent where mobile technology has already made a significant impact, could benefit tremendously from 5G. Mobile banking services like M-Pesa have already revolutionized access to financial services, and with 5G, we could see even more innovative solutions tailored to local needs, whether it's telemedicine reaching remote communities or smart agriculture helping to tackle food security issues. The potential for growth is enormous, but the reality is more complicated. For many developing nations, the challenges of deploying 5G infrastructure are daunting. The costs of building dense networks of 5G base stations, laying fiber optics, and ensuring reliable power supplies are substantial and often out of reach for countries that are still struggling to expand basic 4G coverage. If affordability and accessibility aren't addressed, we could see a scenario where 5G is only available in major cities or wealthier areas, leaving rural communities even further behind. This could exacerbate the digital divide, creating a world where the connected become more connected and the disconnected are left in the dust. One of the major barriers is cost. 5G technology is expensive to implement, and without significant investment, developing nations may find it hard to roll out nationwide networks. Telecom companies in these regions often lack the resources of their counterparts in the US, China, or Europe. And for many people living in poverty, the cost of 5G devices and data plans may be out of reach, even if the networks are available. In this case, 5G could end up reinforcing inequalities, benefiting only the urban elite while leaving rural and underserved populations excluded from the digital revolution. There's also the issue of global competition. As we discussed earlier, the race for 5G dominance is fierce, with countries like the US and China vying for control of the next generation of technology. But where does that leave developing nations? Many are caught in the middle, trying to secure investment and partnerships to build their 5G networks, while avoiding becoming overly dependent on foreign powers. If they rely too heavily on external companies or governments to provide the infrastructure, they could find themselves locked into unequal relationships that limit their autonomy over their own digital futures. So, what can be done to ensure that 5G doesn't widen the digital divide? One solution is international collaboration. Partnerships between governments, tech companies, and international organizations could help bring the benefits of 5G to developing nations. By working together to reduce costs, share knowledge, and build scalable solutions, it's possible to create networks that are accessible and affordable for all. There's also a growing movement toward open-source technologies and community-led initiatives, which could empower local innovators to create solutions tailored to their unique challenges. The future of 5G in the developing world is still being written. It has the potential to transform entire economies and uplift millions of people, but only if we address the infrastructure challenges, the cost barriers, and the geopolitical complexities that come with it. The next few years will be critical in determining whether 5G truly bridges the digital divide, or whether it deepens the gap between the connected and the unconnected. As we stand on the edge of the 5G revolution, the question now isn't just about what 5G can do today, but where it will take us tomorrow. The technology is still in its infancy, and while we've explored how it's already transforming industries, communication, and everyday life, the real excitement lies in what comes next. The possibilities are vast, and the future of 5G promises to unlock innovations that will redefine how we live and interact with the world. Let's start with the next big leap: 6G. If 5G feels like the future, 6G might sound like science fiction, but it's closer than we think. While 5G is still being rolled out, researchers and engineers are already looking ahead, imagining a world where speeds could be up to 100 times faster than 5G, with even lower latency and the ability to support technologies we can barely dream of today. Imagine a world where virtual reality and augmented reality are so immersive and lifelike that you can't tell the difference between physical and digital worlds. This is the promise of 6G, where holographic communication, virtual workspaces, and fully immersive digital environments are not only possible, but commonplace. But before we reach 6G, 5G itself will continue to evolve. Over the next decade, 5G will become more integrated into our lives and industries. We're talking about the rise of holographic communication. Imagine having a video call where the person you're talking to appears as a 3D hologram right in front of you, allowing for more interactive and personal conversations. This technology could completely change how we work, collaborate, and connect with people across the globe, offering new ways to engage without the need for physical presence. Virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR, are also poised to take a giant leap forward. Today, VR is often limited by bulky equipment and lag, but with 5G's low latency and high bandwidth, we're heading toward a future where these technologies become seamless, lightweight, and incredibly immersive. Imagine walking through a virtual city with friends from around the world, attending virtual concerts that feel just as real as standing in a stadium, or even training for a new job in a fully virtual environment where you can interact with machinery and tools as if they were right in front of you. The concept of a virtual workplace will also become a reality. With 5G enabling real-time, high-quality video and AR interactions, people will be able to work from anywhere in the world as if they were sitting right next to their colleagues. Entire offices might exist in virtual environments, allowing businesses to collaborate, hold meetings, and even design products in a fully digital space, saving time and resources while boosting creativity. Another area where 5G will push boundaries is in the field of autonomous systems. While self-driving cars are already being tested and deployed, 5G will unlock a new level of automation. Imagine fleets of autonomous drones delivering goods across cities, AI-driven robots managing factories and warehouses, and self-operating machinery performing complex tasks in dangerous environments like mines or disaster zones. 5G's speed and reliability will make this level of automation possible, drastically changing how industries function and allowing for new levels of safety, precision, and efficiency. But it's not just technology and industry that will change. Society as a whole will feel the impact of 5G. As connectivity becomes faster, more reliable, and more widespread, access to information and services will become more democratized. Imagine rural areas, previously isolated from modern conveniences, being connected to global healthcare systems, education resources, and economic opportunities through 5G networks. With this technology, access to knowledge, jobs, and essential services could become more equitable, reshaping the very fabric of societies. However, with all of this promise comes responsibility. As we look toward a future defined by 5G, we must ensure that these technologies are developed and deployed ethically. The power of 5G, like any tool, depends on how we use it. The future of 5G isn't just about faster downloads or more immersive experiences. It's about creating a world that is more connected, more inclusive, and more innovative. As we move into this new era, the challenge will be to balance technological advancement with human needs and values, ensuring that 5G's transformative power benefits all of us, not just a select few. Whether it's the rise of 6G, holographic communication, or a world of autonomous systems, the next chapter of 5G is just beginning. The real question now is, how will we shape it?